Hello. Has that worked? It still hasn't worked. Jesus. Right, I've obviously done that wrong then. Never mind. In it, Guff. Oh, I know why I forgot, because I forgot to hit the RTMP. Okay, let's check and see if that's actually worked. No, it hasn't. It's made no difference at all whatsoever. Hello. 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 Well, hello. I'm fiddling around. And how's it going, folks? I thought I had set up custom streaming to Twitch and it hasn't worked. So I fucked it, basically. It says running. I don't think it's running. I've just gone into Twitch. I've just refreshed Twitch. My Twitch isn't live. I think I'm going to have to stream from Twitch on a separate device. You're simply the best, better than all the rest. Oh, have you ever heard my Tina impression? Hang on. I do actually do a Tina impression, but I can't watch myself doing it. I've got to turn my face away because that's embarrassing. Right. I'll try to not laugh in the process, right? You ready? I'm your private dancer, a dancer for money. Do what you want me to do. I'm just your private dancer, a dancer for money, and any old music will do. I'm sorry, I won't ever do that again. How are you all doing? Hi, Indy. Hi, Michael. Hi, Professor. Hi, Vincent. How's your Saturday night / Sunday morning going? What's happening out in the world? How have I managed to mess this up again? I don't understand. I thought I'd nailed it this time. I also wanted to ask this, what's with the filter before the microphone? Is it for waterproofing or social distance? It's for neither. It's called a pop filter, and it's to stop the noises getting picked up on the microphone. It's called a pop filter to stop the pop noises. It would be really shit waterproofing because it's literally like mesh that you have tights made from. You know, like that sort of like, see, it's see-through. It's like mesh that ladies' tights are made from. Beam you up. Ooh, 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 oh, hang on. Hang on. Pop, pop, pop music. Pop, pop, pop music. Wom, wow, wow, wom. Listen, if you think my Tina was good, you should hear my bloody share. That's even funnier. Right, hang on. Beam you up. I've forgotten how to do that already. I need to type in your name. It is 2 a.m. I'm blaming that for my stupidity. Michael. Why can't I find you on the list? Where are you, Michael? Why is... How many Michaels are there? There we go. I've got you. I've got you. You're now invited, Michael. You're now invited to the broadcast, Michael. Will you be talking in an Irish accent like Mrs. Doyle? Will you have a cup of tea, father? Ah, go on. Go on, go on. You will, you will, you will. How does one spell pop? I've switched the music off. Oh, but I'm going to be talking anyway, so I don't need music. I only have music when I'm talking to myself. Papa doppa loppa flop flippy floppa flops.
Hello.
Well, hello.
How are you?
I'm
you
good.
private
How are
dancer,
you? How's it going?
It's going good.
I need to turn you up a little bit so I can hear you better.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think that's it. I had it low for the music, but obviously I need to turn you up.
Yeah. Turn me up.
Turn you up. All I can see is your left ear. What's going on?
I know, it's because we don't have me sideways here. Let's do this. Here we go. You ready?
You'll have to play peekaboo. There we go.
Hello. Here I am presenting myself to you. That does not sound right.
There he is. That's better.
There we go. Jesus, help me, Lord. Okay. How are you? I love your singing voice. It's beautiful. I think Tina Turner would maybe not feel that the love that you were emanating from there.
I think Tina would be horrified, but that's okay because she's Tina.
Do you know who Bryan Adams is?
Of course.
Yeah, you do? Okay. Tina Turner and Bryan Adams supposedly had a wild fling.
I don't know about that, but they did sing a duet together. And it's only love. That one.
Mm-hmm. That was a rocking tune. She gave it. She really did.
She did. Do you know who else she duetted with? And it looked like there was real chemistry there, as if something might have happened. David Bowie.
Yes.
And they sang a song called Tonight.
Yes.
And that, watching them together, that really did look like there might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you could have a wild fling with someone who was famous, and there would be no consequences, no one knew, you could go in the transporter, right? On Next Generation, do your business, leave. Who would it be and why?
Do you know
I'll even let you have 3 choices.
I can't even think of anyone,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's so funny because I've always liked Uma Thurman. And I remember my girls would always go, she's funny looking. She's weird. And I go, she can put her weirdness all over me. And they go, gross. Bring the weirdness to me now.
I think Brandon Flowers from The Killers is hot, but he's married to about 10 million children. So, right away, that's a...
my wife loves The Rock. That's her thing. She's
okay.
Yeah, so if The Rock knocks on the door and says, hello, it's our time, I have to submit. That's what do you call that when couples make an agreement? If this,
I don't know. A pass. When you give someone a pass,
you get a pass. Yes.
Mark,
Tina Turner
would not join us as well if you want to. Sorry, Mark said 2 favorite people on one broadcast. He's welcome to come in as well. And then it could be 3 favorite people.
Well, it's funny because I saw him in another broadcast and he said my other 2 people are my favorite.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, it's like that, is it?
Yeah.
You're playing the field, Mark, are you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mark is
we don't like that, Mark.
He's a very kind soul. Actually, I was trying to get a friend of mine from work who's a little uptight, and he's a journalist and been a journalist for years. And he's like, I'll look into this HAPS thing. And I was like, get in now. Don't be looking. Everybody's going to be jumping on in 2 months from now when they don't have I don't know. I can't think of anything nice to say about Periscope. When they jump the Periscope ship, when there's no longer a boat and they're running.
We're all leaving the sinking ship like a bunch of rats. Hi, Pablo. Hi, Ponce. Sorry, I'm just...
Yeah, no, that's what you're supposed to do.
I feel like it's definitely a refugee situation and a lot of us didn't know where we were going to land. So we've been welcomed to HAPS. The refugees have been brought in.
I want your opinion on something, and I'm being serious for a second because I know it's always... I know it's hard.
On a Saturday night at 2 a.m, right? I'll try.
Okay. Is it 2 a.m. for you?
It's 2:15 a.m. on a Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Okay, because here it's a grand total of 9-ish. All right. So I had a couple people tell me to block you, not follow you. And then I went into another room, and then those people who told me to block you and not be around you told me to block those people. So if I blocked everyone that everyone ever told me to block, I would have no one to talk to except for Mark. It'd just be me and Mark, and I go, Mark, I'm very lonely here. I'm a lonely boy.
One thing I would never do is tell someone who they should and shouldn't speak to. That's just like, that's weird.
Well, it's not weird.
It's okay. It's okay to not like someone, but to try and make other people not like someone based on your dislike of them for no reason. I mean, I don't know who it is you're referring to, and I don't have any beef with anybody that I know of on here. So that's like playground. That's like they're forming cliques already. It's like playground behavior.
So today I was in a room and someone accused me of some horrendous stuff, and I was like, okay, yeah, I've been known to be nasty at times. Yeah, I don't know this person you're talking about, but you know what? If I offended them, I'm sorry. And then about a half an hour later, they went, we're way wrong. You're not the same person. It's not the same name. Wow. And I was like, you know what I said? I said, I probably had some of the traits of that person. And you probably saw a soul signature that was similar and assumed I was the same.
No, you make sure you know who you're talking about before you. Oh, yeah. Man.
Hi, Mark. Mark's here.
It was interesting because I tried to go into a broadcast earlier today, and you're looking through the trending, and it was a girl who had been in a broadcast last night, really late last night, and I had dipped out because it was like stupid early here.
We should let Mark in.
He's in? He's here?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh, I've not clicked on the data.
Silly he had a tissue Mark. There for a second because he was feeling like...
I forgot that I've got another button to press. No, I had gone into or tried to go into a broadcast, and I'd spoken to the girl last night, 6 in the morning, my time, and she seemed really nice. And I tried to go into the broadcast, and then it came up with content not available or something, and I thought, that's really strange. So then I tried again, and it came up again, content not available. And I did wonder, have I been blocked? I've only spoken to her once, and she seemed really nice. So obviously the cliquism, the cliquey, weird playground behaviors already started over here.
Well, here's what I like about that, Mark, is people have now decided that this is their sandbox, and there is now rules in the sandbox. And, and as much as I would love to only talk to you and Helen, I'm not going to, I'm not going to block anyone unless they're
blocked either.
Yeah. Unless they're absolutely horrid to someone. And even that would be temporary, because I always assume that people have bad days. Right. But this kind of format draws a lot of narcissistic people.
Egos.
The beauty of this platform is everybody can make their own choices in that regard. So whatever you feel comfortable with, I respect that approach, and I respect other approaches where they want to have a more curated audience for their broadcasts. I don't think there's one right or wrong answer.
I do think it's interesting people telling other people whom they should and shouldn't interact with. That's interesting. But it says a lot more about them than it does about the person that they're actually talking about, I think.
Well, the weirdest comment I had last week, which made me laugh and made me feel good in the same way, was, you should not be this popular this soon. And there's something wrong. You must be somehow being interlinked with Mark and the bunch, and they're fudging your numbers and
Jesus.
Oh yeah, and I was like, well, Mark and I are related, and no. And I said, can you see the resemblance? I'm like him and a half.
Twins, separated at birth.
We're brothers.
Yeah, like the Twins movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. God,
so funny. Yeah, so funny.
I do wanna say hi to Yassine. It's great to see you, man.
He's so kind to me. He is so kind to me. He's in a million rooms. He always says nice things to me. I'm just like, look, I don't owe you money. At least I don't think I do. I look like that guy from the other call. Someone went just ballistic on me this morning, thinking I was someone else. You did this to this person, and how can you live with yourself? And then half an hour later, they're like, Yeah, I apologize. You're not the same person.
Wow, that's just craziness.
And
Wow.
and everybody in the room was like, "Why aren't you reacting?" And I'm like, "Well, you know, it'll
Everybody
sort
I'm
of."
trying to think who would be vocal enough to tell you to block me. I'm trying to rack my brain.
No. It wasn't, hun. It wasn't one.
That's interesting.
It wasn't one. It was a group. And then I had another group tell me not to follow these other people, and this other group told me not to follow anybody. I was like,
Wow.
I would be following no one.
I did
And-
call out someone for being exploitative of creatives who's on this app, who tries to charge people for a spot on his radio station, you know, expecting them to pay for a slot rather than, you know, I did call that out. I didn't name him.
It wasn't him. So
I'm presuming that's
so don't send rage towards him. It was not him. We
Okay,
love you.
interesting.
We love you, sir.
No, we don't. You know. Sorry, I'll tell it as it is. No,
Well, I saw the dragon fire come out. I got a little scared. You get warm at all there, Mark? I'm burning up. Okay, good.
I was very intentionally didn't name names. You know, I was talking about a situation where, in any situation where someone's trying to profit from, you know, exploiting creatives, because it's hard enough to make a living without having to pay to do your job.
Yeah. Can I give you an example of how vague you were? Oh, there she goes. Oh, there she goes. Look, she's entering another realm.
Sorry,
wow. She just
my
elevated.
camera's on the Wi-Fi.
So it would be like me going, I think I have deep feelings for a CEO with the initial M, and I wish he would shave his beard, then we would be more aligned with our look. But you know, I don't want anyone to know because I can't share details. Oh, sorry, I'm back. No, come on. You couldn't have been any more clear who that was.
No, you would only know that that's what the person's business plan is if you discuss, you know, or that person themselves would know. Do you know what I mean? Most people wouldn't know who I was talking about. The vast majority of people would not. So I
love when you get peppered a bit. And then
like
the head gets going, and then it's like the other day when, you know, I toss them. That's what I do. I toss them.
It was really funny the other day. I was in your thing and you said something about calling you weirdos. I wasn't calling you weirdos. I was saying the people that keep telling me.
You wrote it down.
ASMR.
I saw it. I have proof.
No,
my inner soul was crying.
People keep telling me I should do ASMR, right, with my voice.
Oh my God.
I was saying that those people are weird.
Do you know what that is, by the way, sir? No. He knows what it is. I know he does.
No, I don't, actually.
No, they do this. They go, I love you. You're beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm very excited you're here.
Okay, that's
you know, and they make these very sexual sounds, and I walked into one of these rooms, and Randy, when I first met him, went, "You would be perfect for that, Michael."
Both of you guys.
Yes, together on the same microphone.
Thank you, Andy.
Oh, I can't reply to. I keep forgetting you can't reply to comments unless they're on Haps. Hi, chick. Sorry, I tried to reply, but you're on Periscope.
Oh, explain that to me. I still don't know. Okay, I noticed that if it's from YouTube, there's a red mark, and if it's from Facebook, there's a blue mark. And can we link to Twitch?
Great question. That's what I was trying to do, but it hasn't worked again. So I've messed it up again.
You're saying?
Twitch.
Twitch? Twitch is coming soon. We're working on the integration with Twitch. We have not yet launched that.
I was told you could do custom RTMP, and
that you can do.
I thought I had.
Now you're beyond me, but soon it will just be a choice in the multicasting.
That's good, because clearly it's beyond me as well, because I've done it wrong.
So can I be intuitive, Mike, for like 30 seconds? Is that okay? All right. So I get that this week was a bit of a shitstorm, and that you had to put out some fires and you were doing some dancing and you had to keep that really kind, beautiful soul in check. So
You sensing that?
Yeah, I am sensing that. And
yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Well, like one of the worst weeks yet.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No? Oh, good.
It's not quite to that level, but you know, it was a challenge.
Are you getting better at dealing with the fires? Maybe is that maybe you've developed a better form of Teflon around you, not to take everything personal and know that. I told you, wait till the boat is taken away. It will be absolutely zany in here. And sorry, the boat. For those who don't know, we're doing code here. That's Periscope. Sorry.
We're working hard to make sure that we're ready for that in case it happens. I think you guys will see.
In case.
I think you guys will. Well, we'll see. I know there's been a lot of mixed feelings about HAPS. A lot of people who, seem to love the experience, and a lot of people who are less than thrilled with the experience. So fair enough.
I find a lot of
the people who are less than thrilled, you need to get ready to say, well, this is how it is, and it's tough shit.
Well,
that's
not our MO, Helen.
I know. I'm really,
Helen,
but I do think a lot about. Okay, but to be serious for a minute, I do think a lot of the things are pretty nitpicky. There are things, obviously, that are fundamental that do need to be, things like latency, things that need to be updated to make sure it is smooth. But some of the feedback you're getting is just people want Periscope 2.0, and that's not what HAPS is. They have to take on board that that's not what it is.
Helen, like the latency right now is amazing in here. There's hardly any. Listen, even the dog agrees.
The latency is going to get much better in the next week or so.
I was using that I was plucking that as an example out of the sky, but you know what I mean. Like
next week, you're going to see some significant improvements on the broadcasting infrastructure side. It's been 2 weeks of incredibly hard work for Adam and the rest of the team, and we'll start to see the payoff.
What's your dog's name?
She's looking for some attention. Bring her in and put her on camera.
What's her name? I want to talk to her.
Her name is Babette.
Can we see her? Is that okay?
She's not real good about being picked up. I'll try.
No, I'll try. Okay.
She's just like, look at me, talk to me, cuddle me, I'm here.
Yes. Listen, he loves you beyond your wildest dreams. And there is going to be a time when he's going to have time for you. But right now, he is everyone's daddy. Oh, you are beautiful. I love you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all? I don't know.
No, he's got his headphones in.
No, I got my headphones in.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're feeling this, but I think you're beautiful.
But she's telepathic, so she can hear you anyway.
Well, we're all from the Palladians here, so of course we have that ability.
I have to say, you must be very soothing, Michael, because she does not usually allow me to do anything like that. She's usually much squirmier.
I'll tell you, when I met Helen for the first time, I thought to myself, oh my God, that is a zanier version of myself in a female form. And how dangerous is that person?
Definitely zany.
I'm just thinking back to the first time I met Mark, and I was sitting.
Okay. Oh, I don't think we want to know.
No, I'm going to tell you because it's funny as hell. I'm sitting in the car in the pitch dark because it's nighttime, and it's the first telephone line. And I'm looking at this thing like, what is this app? What is it? And I'm sort of like trying to work it out. And I had said, does anybody want to come in so that I can figure out how to? And Mark volunteered. And of course, at that point, I didn't know that Mark was like the boss man. So he was just some guy who volunteered. I very, very quickly picked up the fact that he was working at HAPS, but I didn't realize that at the time. And just before he came in, someone else had said, I would come in, but I can't. I'm indisposed at the moment. And I made a joke about him taking a 2-ton shit. No, a 2-ton shit.
I love how she cracks herself up.
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
It was just like, I was so
I'm
impolite.
more laughing at that.
He's taking a 2-stone shit. He'll be indisposed for a while. And Mark still wanted to come into the broadcast. I have no idea why.
Oh, exactly for that. I had to cover for the person.
Somebody has to think I'm funny. I think I laugh at my own jokes.
Right.
Anyway.
But Beth thinks you're funny.
But that's zanier version, possibly more smutty, maybe. More sweary, quite probably.
Michael's sensing something. I can see the
I'm
rub of
trying,
his
to,
chin.
I'm trying to be respectful to you because here's the problem with me. When I go into state and I start reading, I forget where I am and I forget that people can watch this later. And I kind of did that the first time you and I talked. And I'm used to reading people like this through my work, and it's safe, right? Where Helen, I don't think she would care. Like, she would just be like, if you got something, that's fine. We'd laugh. And
Yeah, go for it. There's nothing you can say that I wouldn't say myself, Helen would say.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm very excited about this. And I've heard mostly good things, to be honest with you. And many people have said the community is amazing and they're feeling connection with so many people. And I know it's starting to work because I have people dictating what I should do.
Nice.
And that means they're comfortable within their sandbox. We'll call it the sandbox. And with me, unfortunately, I want everybody to come into my sandbox. Even if they don't like me, that's fine.
Well, if we're doing something right for the two of you guys, then we're on the right path.
Well,
I just don't understand why anybody would want to come into your sandbox if they don't like you. That's odd. Do you know what I mean? Is that did I misunderstand what you said there?
Can I explain something? Can I explain something to you? Okay, so Donald Trump, the first time he ran, okay, he had 10,000 people who couldn't stand him and 20,000 people who loved him. And sometimes in my room in the morning, we've got people in there that are like atheists, and I've had people tell me that I should boot them out, and that because they're blocked, they can't see parts of my broadcast if they comment. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. I come on, I'm giving positive vibes. I'm not going to ever worry about that drama. And I'm here just to spread light and love. And if you want to come in and feel good about life for a few seconds in this crazy time, God bless you. And it's going to be every morning at 6:30, even if I'm zombified. Isn't that what you said?
Yep, zombified.
She said, I'm zombified. And you know what? I enjoyed it because I felt like you were on a governor. And both of us need to be on a governor.
Zombie Helen like this in the morning.
And that felt like weeks ago, and that was this week, right? Like I've only
a couple of days ago, yeah.
And I feel like I've gotten such momentum in the last 5 days.
I got to tell you, Michael, I mentioned this before. I don't know if you picked up on this, but Maya, my significant
beautiful wife, your beautiful wife, yes.
She's not technically my wife, but basically she's my wife. She watched the broadcast that you did with me, and she's a tough one to get to sit and watch something. And she watched it for 45 minutes, and she said, I love that guy. I really connect with him. It was amazing what he did on that broadcast. She's dying to come and talk.
I'm open. I would love, though, if it's okay with you, we'll do it off air, because there's like when it goes deep, it goes really deep.
Yeah.
And there's usually tears, and what happens is, and I know this sounds really woo, but the vibration gets high, and then you start to shake internally. And one of my teachers, Panaj Desai, was one of these people where, you see those things where people faint.
Yeah.
And they fall. I'm telling you, there are individuals that do that. I do it at, say, at 10%. But when it happens is your heart chakra and my heart chakra, there was like a tube, and I could feel your emotions. And for a moment there, we were connected, and I saw the beautiful soul that you have. And I just, in that moment, was so enamored with what you were doing. And I felt like I was at home. And I wanted you to know that I had this resource of unconditional love for you. And I was here for you in that moment. But I also forgot I was on a broadcast. And I also forgot that you're a CEO. And, yeah. And who wants to see a bro romance on TV here? So.
It's a beautiful thing. Meant a lot to me. It was very impactful, and I appreciate you, man. Really.
But Helen and I, we have some strange soul signature together. I don't know if we were brother and sister or something, but it's weird, and I feel so comfortable with her. And I think because you have such a big personality, you're going to have people that don't fully understand you, and that's okay.
I've loved Helen ever since she was just a glowing face in the dark, which was my first experience with her.
Yeah, no, it's true. But that's been the entire, I mean, I'm 39.
That'll
I'm
be in the
40
book.
years old, and
that'll be in the book. Yeah.
Obviously, you're right. I do have quite a I don't think I wouldn't like to think it's an overpowering personality, but it is quite a big personality. And obviously, you're going to get people who like you, and you're going to get people who don't. And fortunately, I'm one of those people who doesn't give a shit either way. But that's always been the case. That's not just a new thing. That's not just because of this, because of live streaming. As a child, you had people who, I was never part of a clique. Even
I like that. He says that's what it's like being Scottish.
Yeah. Chris is part of this conversation. He's just totally in there with us, having a good time.
Well, he understands because he's also Scottish.
I mean, look, that's the thing. And you guys have been doing this for years. You've been broadcasting. You've been getting to know, this group of people, both broadcasters and the community of viewers. This is new to me, and it's really powerful. It's really something that's taken me by surprise. And I enjoy coming into these broadcasts and seeing people, both the broadcasters and the people who are commenting. And it it hasn't taken very long for that to kick in. So I have a lot of respect and a lot of appreciation for everybody who's using this platform.
See, with Helen, I find that she actually cares about the content. She wants it to have some value when someone watches it later. And I honestly believe with your type of light, you're healing, and you use humor. And Robin Williams did that as well, but he had a deep, beautiful soul, but he used humor. I could see, and I feel that there's people they have your channel on in the background while they're doing their housework and their work. And every once in a while, and some of them, to the point, I see them getting obsessed and knowing the joke before the joke starts and still laughing.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So that's a gift. And I'm so glad that you're using that. And the sad truth is, when you're powerful, you're always going to have those that want to dim your light. And I'm here. If you ever need support, or if you're having a bad day and you want to talk to me off air, I'm here. And, even though you called me a weirdo in the...
I wasn't calling you a weirdo. You need to go back and read it properly. What I do find interesting is I have repeatedly said the atmosphere is great here. It feels like, the arseholes from Periscope haven't migrated over yet. Everybody seems to get along. It's a community. And then for you to turn and tell me, well, people are telling you to block me already. I'm like, that's so strange to me, because I thought I haven't encountered any issues with anybody. And I can't stand any kind of two-facedism or underhanded.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling a little bit like, oh, okay.
But hear me out. I've been in broadcast and people are basically questioning what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And I'm okay with that. You know? And unfortunately, that comes with it. And when you become more and more powerful and you have 30,000 views, you're going to have more of that.
Oh yeah, don't misunderstand me. I don't need anybody to like me. Zero fucks are given. Excuse my language. Scottish. It comes out.
Yeah,
it's more. I'm more disappointed in myself that I haven't noticed there's been an issue.
Oh, you know what? It could be as simple as with this case that they are going in other avenues in their mind, and you're not giving them the light that they need, and they're basically thinking they're more powerful than they are. That's all. And you know what? That's where they are at this time in their life and their progression. And you know, and not everyone's good.
Chris was willing to come back and give you another try. So, you know, I don't think you should take it too seriously, Helen.
No, I'm annoyed at myself.
My sense of you.
I'm annoyed at myself for thinking everything's hunky-dory when clearly it's not.
But it's never going to be. Let's address that. That's just a story, okay? And even in my own life and in my, you know, even at work, I used to always say to my wife, I said, you know, 1 minute I'm a hero and 10 minutes later I'm a zero. And that was exactly what it was like at my work. And I got really good at knowing that I couldn't keep everybody happy and balancing really big egos and really smart people where I work, right? And they would come and talk to me, and I would sometimes have people would say horrendous stuff about me. But I think with myself and you, we are super sensitive and we love people fully. And when we feel like we don't get that back, it affects us.
It's not so much that. It's more that I have been through some horrendous things on Periscope. Including stalking, harassment, police involvement, you know, multiple accounts being made of me on various different platforms. You know, I've been through the mill on that app. And I thought I'd broke away from the shit.
Yeah, the shit sticks. And
evidently.
I today myself also had some of that. Ooh, we're breaking up. Look at that. Did you see that? Powerful beings affecting the energy.
No, it looks okay for me.
No, my screen was doing this.
Ooh.
And it was like, contain your love for Helen. Contain your love. Contain it. Contain it.
Blowing my snotty nose in the background.
Yeah. Better out than in. That's what my grandmother used to say when she farted.
It's better that than dribbling all down my chin. Carry on.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sorry, go on. I'm listening.
Okay. I just hope that's not on an endless loop tape later.
We just,
you know, I go on Instagram.
We have an outtake now.
And then you're talking about your chin. All right,
we have an outtake now.
Right, go on. Sorry.
But I sense for you and that your presence here will be mind-blowing in no time. And I tried to address before, and I think your exact words were, I don't do it for that. But as your audience gets bigger, so like in life, people love to build you up to just tear you down.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have a constitution within yourself to know that you are loved and light. And you know what? My feelings for you will never change no matter what they say. So then I've always been that way. Like now I have to be honest with you. There's been times where I've met people and went run and I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I got my ass. Yeah, we won't go there.
I think we've all had that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't trust
PG,
your gut.
Mike. PG. Keep it PG, Mike.
You don't have to keep it PG. It's 2:44 in the morning and you're on my channel.
Well,
you can say whatever you want, as long as the boss man's okay with it.
So what are some of the So what are some of the things, Mark, that we have in the works in the next couple of weeks that we're trying to, because I find every week it gets a little better. here.
I
That's
think
true.
you will continue. I think you will continue to see that. What we've been really focused on is stuff that is not visually apparent to you, but should be apparent to you in how the platform performs. And that's the most important thing, first and foremost. So,
Absolutely.
the issues that we were having right around the end of last year, with the platform crashing and all of that, we've been working really hard to get to a place where, it's set up not only for, the volume we're doing now, but, where we're hoping to get this to and going forward. And it's there. This is a complex system behind this. I mean, there's a lot going on here. And so, a lot of the stuff, as I said, won't be immediately apparent to you. I think probably the thing that'll be the most apparent is the latency issue, which doesn't happen on all broadcasts. It's not across the board, but when it happens, it's a very tough thing to deal with. And so we're addressing that. I think you saw on Friday we did a release that addressed the audio issue, which a lot of our musicians were having. And we want to make this a place that is really welcoming to musicians. So, we implemented that. I think you'll see a pretty significant improvement in the commenting capability and how that all functions. We have a bunch of stuff in the works, and I think the mobile apps are an area. I don't know how much you guys have been using those. I think you guys use you use the PC most of the time.
Well, weirdly, the desktop studio feels more intuitive than the mobile app.
Yeah,
which isn't usually the case. Obviously, usually the mobile app's more simplified, it's more simplistic. That isn't the case at the moment, but obviously you're working on that. So
I can explain that actually. So that's an interesting observation. So, we, as we've told you guys, developed this system initially for journalists, and we expected most people who would be doing broadcasting to be initiating it through their PC, and they might have people coming in from the mobile app to join them, but it wouldn't be initiated from the mobile app. And so our focus was on, let's make the web studio, really intuitive and easy to use. And then when the Periscope community moved over, they're much more mobile broadcaster centric. And we were kind of caught with our pants down because we hadn't really, spent our time and our focus and our resources on initiating broadcast from the mobile app as much as we had from the desktop. And so we're having to scramble and upgrade that in order to be able to, address this new group of broadcasters that have come onto the platform that are more mobile centric. So, there is a reason for all of this stuff. It may not seem logical, all the time, but there's a reason why this stuff is the way that it is and how it kind of came to be. But we're, as I tried to communicate, we're really trying to listen and move as quick as we can to adapt to, this new community that's on here, and to making it the experience.
And we can definitely tell that, you can tell that the staff are invested in, the app and listening to the people on it. I don't know what your growth's been like in terms of numbers, but I mean, presumably it has exploded, but I think this is still just the tip of the iceberg. When Periscope actually closes down, I think you're going to have to see another big wave of migration over. So I hope you're ready for that.
Yeah, I do too. I
Brace
think
yourself, boys.
it will. Yeah, because all of them are just they're so resistant to change. The people that I know, they're terrified.
Yep.
They find this complicated and different, and I love it. And you know what? I'm not being paid at all. Not even a coffee. Not even a spilled donut.
Somebody send a coffee or a donut. Come on.
But here's the thing that's wild, okay? And I heard this all week, and I hope we do address this, is that there has been a bit of a problem with bullying. And that's a problem that is on all formats. And, you know, I've had people on the morning show that were near tears. Bannerman was talking about certain individuals that he likes, and you probably already know who I'm talking about. And I don't want to center anyone. Do you know what I mean? I want to be respectful to their boundaries, because me even bringing it up in a way is putting focus on something that isn't light. And I like to put focus on light. But I've never been in a platform where they actually cared. And we had someone to talk about it. Like in Periscope, I always felt like, oh, you're on your own here. Yeah, you're
absolutely. In fact, not even just on your own. At times, it often felt like the trolls were not only enabled, it was almost like the broadcasters were punished and the trolls were not necessarily encouraged, but they were certainly enabled. You know, you could make as many accounts as you wanted with no recourse. You know, you could mass report an account, and it happened to me. You could, you know, you get people maliciously reporting an account. I would have my account suspended, hadn't done anything wrong, but it was okay for those, you know, the accounts that reported it stayed, you know. Twitter totally neglected Periscope for a long time, and its broadcasters. Its broadcasters were never supported. So it was almost like, I think that's why it ran rampant, because it was almost like trolling and bullying was almost encouraged.
That was the focus, right?
Yeah.
And for me, a person who has audience of, you know, introverted, sensitive people, they would go in and get attacked by the atheist and everything else, and they would call them everything. They'd call me everything, and I would howl, right? Because I didn't care. But it did affect the people in the room terribly. And it definitely affected my numbers. And it got to a point where it was like, yeah. And you know what I love most about this too? I never talk about it, and I should. You don't put the comments in the rebroadcast. Thank God. Like Helen said, I was a weirdo, and
I never said you were a weirdo. Is that the narrative you're going with?
If I was to see it again and again and again, I would be like,
that never happened.
Okay, maybe it was in a different dimension.
I said the people that said I should do ASMR were weirdos.
So I have a question for you guys, because this is just my ignorance. Did Periscope give you the ability to block people from being in your broadcast?
Yes, but they would just keep coming back. It didn't block their IP address or anything, and they could make as many accounts as they wanted to. So you'd have
within the same broadcast. They would have like 5 accounts, and you'd have the same person, and they would come in and pretend they were a woman.
You'd have someone who
it's the same guy
stalking you, who would you know, have 40 accounts. I think I've got 40 or 50 accounts blocked. That's just one person, and that was like a regular occurrence with different, you know, active trolls. So that was the issue. They never, and also Periscope's blocking was weird. If you block someone on Periscope and you're in someone else's broadcast, and that person you've blocked in that person's broadcast, they can still see your comments. You can't see that they're even in the room because you've blocked them. So you can't see their comments. You can't see that they're there, but they can still read your comments. So they're still seeing everything that you're doing in that person's broadcast. They always had that round the wrong way. You know?
Well, look, it's going to be a lot of work, you know,
I just hope you're aware. Like, I know we keep banging on about it, but it's for a reason, because they are going to come en masse.
Yeah, they will be crazy, buddy.
I hear you. I hear you. I mean,
and our numbers are going to go through the roof. All of us in here, the numbers will it'll be an explosion of numbers. And now I don't think they're going to be giving us mega coin. I don't think that's going to happen. But these people have to feed on something, right? And you have a lot of beautiful souls, and I don't want to paint this as all ugly. But there's a lot of beautiful souls that find this a little complicated. And once they don't have a place to be, they're going to have to swim and try their best, and maybe just have simplified, more elaborate videos on YouTube for those people. And and Helen and I will do a show once a week and go, we don't really care about your pain. No.
Well, and I think we'll keep iterating. It'll keep getting easier, better, more intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
We're just getting started.
I mean, like I say, the broadcast studio on the desktop is superb. It's so much easier
phenomenal.
than OBS.
Phenomenal. Hi there. How are you?
Hello, Mrs. CEO.
Yes. How are you?
I hate to cut this conversation short, but I need to run, guys.
Absolutely, that's fine.
Thank you so much
you
guys.
Mark.
Thank you for inviting me. Love you guys.
Appreciate
you guys. And
have a great night.
Have a great night. We'll see you.
See ya.
Soon. All right.
Be kind to yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. All right. That was kind of heavy, eh? Wasn't that kind of heavy?
Aye, it went a bit. It went a bit.
I like that. Aye. See, now it's just us. Back to the zany. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there was something I was going to say there, and I've completely forgotten what it was. I hate when that happens. That's
I know, it's like suppressing thoughts. There.
It'll come back. I'm not caffeinated enough. I need another cup of tea.
Do you want to go get one?
Aye. Can I leave you in charge of the whole kit and caboodle and look after my room while I go make a cup of tea?
Yeah, go for it. I'll talk to them.
Let me make you big screen. There we go.
Yeah, you can bring me one too. Okay.
There we go. Yeah,
All
how do you take it?
Yes. Hi there. My name is Helen Wallace, and I'm a shapeshifter. When I go into this personality, I change my voice as well. And I also like coffee more than tea during this time. So tomorrow, if you are around at 6:30 in the morning in Canada, I live in Toronto. My name is Michael Bathurst. I would love to see you, and I would love to shine some beautiful positive vibrations in your direction. Bobby Shadow, how are you, Bobby? Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming on the show yesterday. That was some really good content. I felt like we dug deep, and I love when we do that. You just missed Mark, and are you back already, Helen?
My kettle's boiling. Sorry, I forgot. I thought I was waiting for the kettle to boil. Sorry.
Well, pop up, and then when the kettle
goes.
No,
I'm just reading the comments. I'm fine. I can just reply in the comments and then go make my cup of tea and come back.
Well, say hi to the comments then. Just do that.
Hello, comment section. Hello, cheap seats. How are we?
How are you? So listen, can I ask you a couple of questions? Like, will you have a Patreon type of thing where you'll be able to have you as like the answer machine? Hello, this is Helen Wallace. And I really don't give a shit if you call me back. Thank you.
That's hilarious. I'm going to steal that. That's going to be
no. Or certain stars right now, what they're doing is they'll break up with your significant other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they'll leave a call. Hi, this is Helen. I don't want to shag you anymore. Goodbye.
Hilarious. Right, I'll be right back.
All right. I wasn't joking about that. You do what you got to do during the lockdown to make some money, right? Because a lot of people can't tour, And if you're an artist, especially musical, you've got to find a way. So there's a guy that's not a big star, great voice. His name's Glenn Jones, great singer. And he is right now doing birthday wishes. And it's not that expensive. I think it's like $20. And he'll do a birthday wish for your mom, your dad, your significant other. So I think that's awesome. I think you have to be creative. I want to address something here that's important to me. It's a little spiritual, but I'm a spiritual guy. You hold a spark of greatness within your deepest core, and that's everyone. And this platform here is made for content creators. And it doesn't matter, whatever kind of things that you're in, just be you. Just be the greatest version of yourself. Don't try to be Helen. Good luck trying to be Helen, or try to be the wacky woo master Mike Bathurst. Just be you, whatever that is, and address and discuss the things that you love, right? Or don't love, for that matter. Do you have any pearls of wisdom there? I can't believe you're still up. Are you a night owl?
Yes. Unfortunately, it's very strange. It feels at the moment like I can't get back into a normal sleep pattern. It's like, I feel like I'm permanently doing night shift. And I've tried. I was lying awake for hours this morning, and I ended up in somebody's broadcast at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I just could not sleep. And then I start to sort of like want to nod off when it's becoming daylight. And that's no good. I need to get back into a proper routine, It's crap.
Well, some people believe that we're adjusting, right, to all the craziness that's going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it affects us as a collective. And what happened here. And that affects your sleep. If you don't feel safe and you feel like you're in uncertain times, and with COVID and everything, I know you and I don't discuss that very much because we don't want to focus on that. But I guarantee you, because you are a very sensitive soul, it is affecting you.
Maybe.
Okay. Do you have another thought? Is it?
No, I don't. I don't know. I mean, I've always been a night owl, but this, situation of just, it's so strange. It's like I'm not seeing daylight. I'm starting to fall asleep when the sun's coming up, and then I'm starting to come to, and there's only another like an hour of daylight. That's no good. I can't function like that. I need to get into a proper.
And you have responsibilities that you have to cater to.
Absolutely.
Right? And if you didn't have that, it wouldn't be such a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then you could be the night owl and you could sleep in the day, but you've got people who are needing you.
Yep.
I get it. Do you have any advice for mothers out there that, like, I don't know if you know this, but statistically what's happened during COVID is a great deal of relationships that were together for many, many years, and they were coping, because they would go to their work and they would deal with each other for a few hours each day, and they would be civil, and they would be able to kind of just, shove it down. And now they're at home, working from home. The kids are running around, and everything that they have not dealt with for the last 3 to 5 years is now surfaced. And some of my friends that I thought had stable relationships are no longer together.
Yeah.
And a couple of them, I was like, what? How? And it was just, the
pressure's on big time. And financially as well, not just because it's a pressure cooker because you're with each other 24/7 and you're locked down, but also because some people aren't able to work, or they're on a furlough scheme, or they're not getting any help at all. I mean, I'm self-employed and I'm not getting any help from the government at all because I'm self-employed. And a lot of people in the creative industry are in the same boat. So, there's the pressure of being around each other 24/7, and also, people having financial difficulty. Of course, the pressure's on. It's finding a way to alleviate the pressure, even if it's just going for a half-hour walk with your headphones in, get out the house and escape for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and
the only way I can.
When you go outside, though, right? It's a form of cleansing. It really is, and it's a great way to clear your mind. And
absolutely,
And it's not, as much as I love talking to you and I like being on this format, this is not healthy.
Yep.
And I do many hours of this. I talk to people all the time, and I've been incredibly blessed to be still working. I don't know if you know what I was doing for the last 6 years. I work in an old Masonic building for a company called Infotech, which is amazing, owned by Joel Martin. And I would greet and drive the people up and down in this 6th floor building all day. And I kind of did this at, 30 seconds to a minute all day with different people. And sometimes I would talk to 100 to 200 people a day. And if we had guests in the building, it could be as many as 300-400 people I would see and greet. And I loved it because, I'm super social and I miss it. I miss it so much. I even miss the grumpy people.
Yep. You will, because you're a people person, and I understand that because I'm exactly the same way.
So for me, when I go to the building, it's kind of like me seeing when I go up near the elevator, it's like I'm meeting my old long lost lover that we'll have time again together, dear.
So is the building closed down at the moment? Is that?
Yes. Yeah. Well, we have a full lockdown right now in Canada because the numbers are through the roof. So we were pretty panic stricken in the summer when it was at 300 people per day. Now it's like 3,300.
Yeah.
So we're learning and we're having a rough time getting the vaccine out fast enough. And I think other countries are having the same problem. And but one of the brightest people I know said to me a year ago, Michael, this is not shifting quickly. I'm sorry. And I know you miss your job and you miss the people, but we're going to be in this boat for a little while. So, and I'm glad I found this outlet. It's a way for me to help and connect with people, and it's good for my soul. And luckily, I still have some remnants of my life. I still go to the building and do other duties, but I miss my old life, and it makes me really realize how great my life was and how truly blessed I was to even have that time, and how grateful I will be,
when it comes back.
I'm in my 80s. If I'm still around, I'll remember those times as being really great times. And they didn't always feel like that, but I think I needed it to be taken away from me for a while to realize. And it's kind of like a relationship. You can really love someone passionately and be connected to them. But then, you think, oh God, this is just too much work. And it's like mending a garden. And then that person's away for a couple of weeks and you're like, oh my Lord, I miss them. Right.
Well, they say that you don't know what you've got till it's gone. They say that, don't they?
Yeah. Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah.
God, this is depressing. Yeah, no, it's
just talk for a while. I'm gonna go check something. I'll be 1 second. I thought I heard something.
Ooh,
I'll be right back. If I don't come back, you'll know. Okay.
I don't know if anybody's still here in the cheap seats. We call them the cheap seats.
Oh, you're here. Is it 11 or is it 10?
Is there anyone still there?
Okay,
is there anybody out there?
That's always on her bed. She's just
somewhere.
It's good. It was my beloved. Yeah.
We might be on our own, Oh, Brenda's here. Hi, Brenda. I thought we were all on our lonesome. I thought we were on our own and there was nobody else here.
Yeah.
But we do have people in the cheap seats, so it's all good.
Well, here's the thing, though, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but with the comments, what ends up happening is they sometimes get jammed. And I'll have like 50 comments in 2 minutes.
And then they all come through at once.
Yeah, it's like they're lost in Neverland, and then the people are not too happy with you because you didn't respond to
them. Yeah. No, we're not ignoring you people.
No. Well, see, for me, sometimes I get so enamored with the person in the room, I kind of forget, and that's not very nice. But I think long term, when it really starts to get momentum, you may have to have somebody help you manage that.
I think the good thing about this is the comments are there for a long enough time that you can actually read them. I don't know if you remember Periscope before the scroll back feature, but we weren't always able to scroll back comments on Periscope. So at the very, in the first year or so, once the comment had gone, it had gone. If you didn't read it, in real time.
Yes.
And then we all got lazy when you were able to start scrolling comments back.
So I have a question for you. So when I have my morning show at 6:30 to 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
What time is it in your land? Like
I think 11:30 in the morning.
And that doesn't work for you, does it? Because you've got things going.
It's absolutely fine unless I've got general nonsense going on in the background. Because I've got two teenagers, and there's quite often some general nonsense going on in the background. And I don't talk about my kids on.
Yeah.
And nobody knows whether they're boys or girls intentionally. I've never said whether they're boys. So I don't really want them being heard in the background.
Yeah. See, the only question I have is, like, were you 10 when you had them?
No. Shut smooth talker.
I'm just doing the math in my head going,
I think I am.
Well, I was thinking it's like 25 or something, and I'm doing the math and I'm going, well, teenager means 13 at least.
Man, I'll be 40 next year.
No way. Look at that. Okay. See, I wouldn't have guessed that.
I'm an old fart.
Well, try 58. I'm going to be 58 in April. That's a heavy number.
I bet that's just flown by as well.
I don't know about you, but for me, this COVID thing, I don't know what day it is half the time. A Saturday sometimes feels like Monday. And it's weird. It's like that matrix of time has left me.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you ever had Bobby Shadow up? Have you ever talked to him?
I haven't, but he's more than welcome to come in. I spoke to him. I think I was on his broadcast. In fact, I think that was the broadcast I was in.
Yeah, he's a fun guest. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I was talking to that lady I was talking about earlier. I think it was his broadcast that she was in, and she seemed really nice. And then I went to go into her broadcast, and I couldn't get into it. And I thought, that's really strange.
So the person I really want you in the future to talk with is actually my daughter, Laura. And she watches your broadcasts all the time and thinks you're a hoot. She thinks you're a hoot. She really does. And she's, what is she now? She's 27. 27.
Age.
But she's 27 going on 40. She's an old soul in many ways. And she's witty like you. I don't think she has the fluidity. We'll call it fluidity.
I think she doesn't have the potty mouth. I thought that is the route you were going to go down there for a second.
I'm not someone to scroll down and comment and put things in like the words weirdos and stuff. I don't do that.
You genuinely, I thought you were joking. You genuinely think I called you a weirdo?
Yeah,
that's not what I said.
You did.
No,
I saw it. I said you have merch now that you can sell. No,
what I said was, people tell me all the time that I should do ASMR, the weirdos, meaning the people that tell me I should do ASMR.
Yeah, you do well.
I never called you a weirdo. You're so convinced that I called you a weirdo. And that wasn't what I said.
I laughed so hard. During it.
It's so hard as if I genuinely said that, and I want you to go back and read it again.
Oh, I don't care. But during it, I was like, well, I didn't know. I didn't know until the lady said to me, she just called us weirdos.
That's not what I said.
And I went, oh, she's just being funny. I think that's what I said. Something like, oh yeah, that's just so she was horrified.
That's not.
And I didn't even notice.
So she hadn't read it properly. So it's her. We're blaming her. She's not here, so she can take the blame. She's not in the room.
But she was one of these very sensitive souls, you know what I mean? A little wounded, and then for you to do that, it was just,
But that's not but she misread it, because that's not what I said. You were talking about ASMR, and you were talking to the other Colin. Is it Colin? And you were saying that he should do ASMR.
That was nuts. Yeah.
And I said, people tell me I should do ASMR all the time. Because you guys were talking about ASMR, and I said, people tell me I should do that all the time, the weirdos, meaning the people that say it.
I think you wrote down erotica as something as well.
No, it was someone you were talking about. Was it Randy? you were talking about Randy, and I said, is there homoerotic tension going on between you two?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yes.
that's my sense of humor, because I think I'm funny.
Yes. It was very funny. It was very funny. And Mr. Porter was, I think, almost falling off his chair.
I'm glad that it came across as that was. See, this is the thing. It's not funny if you've got to explain it.
No, but you've got to remember too, and this is where you have to be sensitive. You've got different levels of comprehension on here. Am I saying that nicely? I'm trying. Yeah. So there's different levels, and you're going to get those that totally understand your subtle humor, and you're going to have others that are actually thinking you're being real.
But I honestly, and I don't want anybody listening to take this the wrong way. But someone else actually said this, pointed it out to me, and then I thought actually that's true. This app is very American heavy. There's a lot of Americans in, and they don't always. It's a different kind of sense of humor. They don't always get sarcasm.
No, they don't.
And I hadn't even, the penny hadn't even dropped with that. Obviously some do, but quite often they don't. So that could pose an issue.
Yeah,
but,
you and I though are wired similar enough that I understand and appreciate that.
Except that you thought I was calling you a weirdo, and I want to categorically state that that's not what I said.
But I think you lost what I was saying. Was I didn't even care. But it wasn't until I saw that lady and she looked like she got sucker punched in the face. And then she went, I think she called us weirdos.
But I care because that's not what I'd actually said.
I think I may have overdone the face.
If I say something, I'm
well, you were typing. You were typing though.
No, but I'm a firm believer of say what you mean, what you say, and say what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very straightforward and I'm very transparent. I won't be about the bush, but I won't be two-faced and snidey about or behind anybody's back either. I'll tell you what I've got to say. But I don't want people thinking I said something I didn't actually say either.
No,
and what I had said was the people who tell me I should do ASMR are weirdos.
But you know what? There is an avenue of income there for you. Like, great.
I hate my voice.
But it's not for you. It's for those people.
Yeah, but I've got to sit and listen to it back when I'm recording it.
Well, it's not even that loud when you're doing that, right? It's more movements.
Slurp.
Right. Yeah. You just need your tea. That's all you need. Yeah. And it's a totally different. That's huge on Twitch.
That was a freebie there, folks. Next time I want tips.
Yes. At least a free tea. Right?
Oh, that's funny. Sorry, did Bobby want to come up? He didn't say.
Bobby, come on up.
Or does anybody else want to come up? You just have to, because I keep forgetting that it's
you
not.
Have to, you have to give them. You have to invite them, and you trying to will it with your mind is not going to happen.
Just be vocal if you do want to come up. I just forget that you can't.
Can I make a suggestion for you, which is what I do at the beginning of the broadcast? Anybody I feel comfortable having up, I just put in it, and then.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because sometimes I'm, rambling away and I'll hear voices of someone who's in the room and I'm like, what?
You forgot you'd invited them.
Yeah. I was scared a couple times.
I've had invites from you and then you've not been live yet. So I must be able to come in.
Yes. You can talk to me before.
Okay. I didn't realize that. You see,
and if you're on your computer, you can also stay after so you and I can discuss what was said. And the things you don't want to discuss, I love that. And sometimes we've had at the end of it where everyone's going, great show, or someone going, you shouldn't have said that. What are you doing? Or this person did that. And, or we went sideways. Nobody's going to want to watch that. We've had all those conversations.
But that's the thing as well, though. Like, that kind of irks me a little bit when someone says to a broadcaster, you shouldn't have said something, because at the end of the day, if you don't like it, don't be in the person's broadcast. Do you know what I mean? Like, that kind of, it's your broadcast and you should be able to say whatever you damn well please.
Yeah. But I think too, and let's be real, some people like sriracha on their fries and other people just like ketchup.
But that's okay. They don't have to, if I don't like something, it doesn't happen very. I'm not easily offended, but if I don't like something, I just won't go back into that room again. If I don't like someone, I just won't go into the room again. Like, you don't have to, moan about it or bitch about the person or any of that nonsense. Just, it's a big enough platform. You don't have to all interact with everyone.
Are you okay with me promoting you one night in the morning show and just saying, hey, this is a great person to... I would love if you gave me like images, not necessarily with the product you were talking about earlier, but I'll promote,
What product was I talking about earlier?
The tea slurping.
Oh, it's like my brain's not.
Well, it's 2:30 in the morning, right?
I'm fine with that, but I don't want anybody's this is the problem, is that how you don't want to anticipate somebody's or excite their anticipation. Like, you might say, you might think I'm the bee's knees and tell other people I'm the bee's knees, and then someone comes in and said, oh, I'm, and then they don't like me, and it's like they come back to you and say, Michael, what the fuck were you saying? What are you going on about? This person's a nut job. Do you know what I mean? That's the risk you run.
I to be honest with you, I think if someone is enjoying my programming, they're going to enjoy your programming. They're similar. Yeah. They're not exact, but they're in the same realm of a little bit of looniness. There's some, we bring up some topics, but we don't go heavy, and we're not promoting hate, which is wonderful, right?
I think that's the thing that people maybe don't understand about me, and I think you've clicked on really quick. I might say something that might be, obviously depending on the person who's listening to it, whether or not they might think it's offensive or not, whether it, swearing or whatever. But there's never any malice behind anything that I say. I'm not a malicious person. Oh, my Wi-Fi's just kicked off.
Yeah, you're starting to break down. Do you want to stop it and start? Here's what happens, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but once it gets over an hour, it has a rough time doing it. And I think
that's what it is.
Yeah. So, and just if you want to go back on, go back on. But anybody who broadcasts, I highly suggest don't have broadcasts more than an hour. Partly because this format runs so high in bandwidth, and whatever they're using, like it was awful in Randy's this morning. We were into 3 hours, and it was barely working, like just limping so bad. And I find around this time, 1 minute, sorry, not 1 minute, just 1 hour 17, it starts to go sideways. So I try to always stop my shows before an hour. And then there's, if we could, and I think you're like me, I don't like the interruption, but we'd probably be smarter to do 30-minute things. Like Joe Rogan, what he does is he records 2 hours, 4 hours, and then dices it up and gives you little blurbs. Like,
yeah, but that's different to, that's different to live streaming, which is essentially, people listening into a conversation, really, isn't it? It's not like a program.
But today, here's an example. If we had the Mark part where we're asking him questions, that would have been excellent to have that separate, right? Yeah, just that piece with him, because that was very different. And then the parts where you and I are discussing about politics and your Twitch experience
and Trump's tiny hands. Yeah.
Yes. Jazz hands.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's a very different broadcast than, we're working on latency. We're doing everything we can. He's deeply in denial about how many people are going to come from Periscope. It is going to be.
No, I think, yeah, I don't think they realize the numbers. This is the tip of the iceberg.
Millions will come. Once they don't have a choice, millions will come.
I agree. I would love to know how many people have actually already, because we don't know the numbers.
7 million are heard. That's what was the number. And I think it go up as high as 70 million. I think it might be 10 times that. But I think Periscope could be 500 million people that are on that.
Yeah, I'd love to know how many people have already, what the jump has been from when they just had their journalists on to, in the last 2 or 3 weeks, when I would love to know what that trajectory. I would love to know what the difference in numbers actually is.
Hello from Los Angeles. There we go. She's a great guest too. Yeah. So listen, I'm going to beam down. I'm going to spend some quality time with my better half.
Good plan.
Yes. So, you know, for all those who really love jazz hands and those that, you know, are not against slurping tea, just leave it in the comments and we'll do a survey. Just put 1 if you think that's a good idea on Twitch. And you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do to pay the bills, you know? And if you've got the skills to pay the bills, you do what you do.
The skills to pay the bills.
Yes.
What I might do is I might wrap up and restart because I do need to go to the loo and I do need another cup of tea, but I'm still wide awake, so I'm not going to bed anytime soon. So I might do what you suggest and restart.
Yeah. But think of that. Start it, put all the names in of the people you like.
Yeah.
And then try not to
go
over.
The thing is, we're always working on a time difference as well. So I'm a little bit apprehensive about inviting people where it might be 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Do you know what I mean?
No, but it's their choice. Like it's not like it's beside their bed.
I just hope that they've got their notifications switched off, or it'll be going. Or it's not Periscope. I was going to go. That's not. It's a different notification.
Oh, it does non-stop all the time. I don't even hear it now. Man, that was close. Oh my god.
Sorry, was that too loud?
That was incredibly accurate. That was. Thank you so much for having me on. I was honored.
Thank you for coming in. It's always a pleasure. It's lovely to see your face.
Yeah, and I loved our time with Mark. So
agreed.
And please, everybody,
I think he's. Do you know how you just? And I don't want to sound like I'm blowing smoke up his arse because that's not the kind of person that I am.
Yes.
But you know how you just instantly meet someone and you think this is a genuinely lovely person, and that was that dark day when I was talking about that other guy taking a two-stone shit. That was the vibe I got. Was that he was really nice.
That was beautiful. Yes, and I know you had everybody's mind going on. Yeah, what did you say about the call? It was in the dark or something?
I was in the car, but it was nighttime, and I was stuffing my face. I had bought like a drive-through meal, so I was sitting eating, and I hadn't used apps before, and I thought I'm going to try this thing out on the mobile. And of course, nobody wanted to come in to help me test out the call-in feature, and Mark volunteered, but I hadn't realised he was the CEO.
No. Well, you know, here's the thing. I did my first broadcast. I was on maybe a minute and a half, and he was in the room.
Yeah.
Because Randy had said to him, I think, there's this guy, he's a woo master. His name's Michael Bathurst.
A woo master.
I think he'll do really well because there's a lot of spiritual people on there, creative, you know,
I've
weirdos.
noticed there are actually a lot of spiritual people on here. It seems to be much more prevalent here than on Periscope.
Yes. Yeah, because we feel safe here. That's why. Yeah. So, and I think a lot of them ran away because it was too hard for them.
Yep.
And they take stuff deeply. All right, I'm going to say goodbye.
You haven't finished your story about, you were telling me that in your first broadcast and Mark was sitting in there. Was that the end of the story?
Yeah,
you did a Billy Connolly. You started a story and then you diverted to another.
Yeah. Well, sometimes in life you have to know when some is enough.
It's suspense. You're keeping us in suspenders. I'm going to be sitting here on the edge of my seat to hear the rest of the story.
In suspenders, are you? All right. Well, thank you. I'm going to say goodbye on that. Bye.
See you later, pal. To be continued. Indeed. Everybody who is here, if there is anybody here, I can see that. I don't know how. Is it Yuk? Is it Yuk? How are you pronouncing your name? I'm so sorry. I don't want to say the wrong. I don't want to. I'm so bad at this. I don't want to say anybody's name wrong. Can you tell me how you pronounce your name? And Brenda and Margaret, and I'm going to nip to the loo, and I'm going to restart. Uke, like Luke. Okay, uke. So like as in like a bit like a ukulele, like a uke. Cool. Okay, that's nice and easy. I didn't want to get that wrong. I'm going to make a fresh cup of tea and see what there is for munching. I've got some Ferrero Rocher somewhere. I might dig them out. Okay, lovely ladies. I think it's all lovely ladies in the chat. I'll be back in about 5 minutes once I've poured my cup of tea. Uke, short for ukulele. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. I think he's right. I think it does get a little bit laggy after. Usually I just go for hours. Oh my. But I think I'll restart it. I'll get a fresh cup of tea and we'll get the music on the go. And we'll have a wee chat. So I'll be back soon. If you want to pop in again, it would be lovely to see you. If not, enjoy the rest of your evening, day, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'll be back.